On behalf of the State Director for Rural Development, Jim Turner, we would like to congratulate the City of Clare for embarking on this treatment plant improvement project.
When I started on City Council about 10 years ago, we started into a project with the DEQ on monitoring our ammonia levels giving off by the wastewater treatment plant.
The Clare wastewater treatment plant was rehabbed by Gordy Fraser in 1989. It's 3 lagoons, and it's got a seasonal discharge with ammonia of 11 milligrams per liter.
2009, we installed a pilot plant here on the site. We gauged it to represent the plant itself in a Webitat module, studied its effects, and we found that the Webitat modules did a wonderful job at removing ammonia on the pilot plant.
The best solution was the Webitat modules themselves, which are behind me, were easy to install. It's a simple home for the bacteria to attach themselves, and from a cost standpoint, being a rural type community. The reason these modules are going to go in is to give the home for the bacteria. There's not going to be any changes to the actual structures of the lagoons. The only thing we need to do is hook up a dedicated airline to the top of the modules and let the bacteria grow and give them the proper environment. They're going to give you the home for the bacteria that remove ammonia, so they're going to give them an advantage to do that. And what they're going to do is kick off the nitrification process and then finalize treatment for ammonia removal in Lagoon 3 before it goes to the clarifiers and then through UV disinfection to the Tobacco River.
Well, the influent water temperature, surprisingly enough, because they are in pipes coming into us on pipes in the ground and not running through our frost layer, comes in usually right around 50 to 52 degrees Fahrenheit. But because of the 30-day retention time going through this plant, by the time it leaves the plant, it can be sometimes down to 33 degrees Fahrenheit going out to the river. So basically the only thing that stops this water from freezing is the movement of the water through the plant. Installation of the modules have occurred in this way. They arrived by truck. The contracting crew then staged the modules over and along each of the dikes on the lagoons. They brought in a crane. It extends out. They pick up the modules with a boom. They reach out into the lagoons and they just lower the modules into the lagoons. Their installation has also been in-ground piping for the air system. They were able to dig down into the soil, lay the piping in. It's PVC piping and glued joints. That was installed, and they have risers coming out to supply air to the NTEX modules. There was really no modifications required for the NTEX modules.
It's been great working with the NTEX team because of their knowledge of their product, the ability to address anything at a moment's notice, and their expertise with dealing with not only the client but with the engineer.
They've come and inspected the modules, and they've been very good from the very beginning, listened to us, as we talked about design. Operator training involved for the new Webitat modules on the operations of the Webitat modules should be fairly easy. Once we have everything dialed in on the proper PSI, air pressure to the modules, it should be relatively easy to operate and maintenance free.
From an operator standpoint, having these Webitat modules in the lagoons shouldn't be much harder than them already operating in lagoons. There really isn't any major operational issues. Most lagoons are going to have air. The Webitat modules need air, so they're going to be very familiar with the type of blowers that are going to be connected. So there should be very little to no maintenance on these type of systems. My expectations for once the Webitat modules are installed is to essentially meet ammonia discharge between May 1st and October 31st of 11 milligrams per liter, or better, which we anticipate will be much, much better.
Roughly about last week, we were right around 2 parts per million of ammonium nitrogen, and it has dropped continuously down to 0.44 on May 21st. I would attribute that to the Webitat because normally we're not this far ahead.
This project will enable Clare to comply with the environmental regulations and preserve a legacy for generations to come.